and welcome to Common Courtesy TV, a conversation on modern society from an LGBTQ plus perspective. I am Sean Nicholas, your host and moderator. And this week we have special guest, co-host, show director of Babes and Bulges here at the event space at Bulge in Ybor City. We have Morgan Lachey. How are you today, Morgan?
I am doing fabulous and lubricated.
Oh my God. And lubricated. I also have my awesome co-host, show director, Angelique Young.
Hi, everybody. This is going to be a good one.
We coming off of that Tampa Pride meeting. And filling in for Ivan, we have body and wellness entrepreneur, Nesha K.
Woo, yeah, welcome.
Yes. And we are recording live here in Ybor City at the event space at Bulge. This week we are talking diversity in drag entertainment and the fallout of Mark Bias's aka Teacup step down from Tampa Pride's board of directors. Now, the highly anticipated Tampa Pride meeting happened moments ago before we started recording here. Our co-host Angelique was a guest speaker there. Here's a clip.
Your ex-board member went live on True TV and delivered a very disturbingly horrible apology, and then you guys posted it on your page. And that is sending a mixed signal, because that is not what you guys said you were about when you made 2 posts directly after his comment. Time to be here today and be seen, because you will see my face more. Period. And I want to be a part of the committee, and I want to be, if ever there was an opportunity to be, you don't have a spot on your board, but baby, any one of you can take me under as a mentor. Yes, I'm willing to take the time, I'm willing to dedicate it, because I don't ever want to have this conversation again.
Also, Mark Bias apologized for his derogatory comment on social media via the online talk show True Tea. Take a look.
I wish to offer my deepest and most sincere apologies for my Facebook comments and my poor choices of words. I have now been educated that cis women can be called drag queens.
Okay. All right. So before we get into our main topic, diversity and drag, I wanted to ask you guys how you're reacting to everything, mainly the apology and the meeting after that at Tampa Pride. First, I'm going to start with our special guest co-host, Morgan. Morgan, how did you feel about his apology and the whole thing?
Well, definitely, it was completely tone deaf. I understand that he comes from an older generation where drag is done a certain way and it's represented a certain way. But the fact of the matter is, art evolves, music evolves, standard art evolves, and the same thing goes with drag. So if you're going to be here in what's coming to be 2023 and you're not evolving with us, then you're kind of holding us back. And the apology, I understand he was reading off a little prompt, he was reading his typed out statement. However, if you really want to connect with people and you really want them to feel that you come from a genuine place, I'm sorry, memorize that stuff and speak from the heart. It felt a little cold. I'm not saying that Mark is a cold person. I would never say that, right, because I've known them. However, that apology just did not feel genuine to me, but I will give points on the fact that at least they did step up and say something. Someone who would be a coward and who did not at least try wouldn't have even gone on that segment. So there's some points there for effort.
True. Came from.
So, in response to the attempted apology is what I'm going to call it, it really comes down to the fact that there was no emotion to it. There was no real, this was very, if I have to do this, because I have to do this. Not because I want to do it, not because I believe I was wrong, not because I truly was educated and I truly understand the difference between what I thought it was and what it truly is. That was a problem for me. So I don't accept it. I don't like it. I don't think it was real. I know this person to be better. I know this person to be capable of better. I know them to do better. And I expected more of them, but that is the problem when you expect things, people tend to let you down. So, that being said, I really don't see it, nor do I care for it. But you know what? This shows me who he is, and when people show you who they are, believe it.
So, I definitely feel like maybe someone else wrote that for him. I don't feel like it came from a place of like, I sat down and put the genuineness myself in the thought process and really like rehabbing in my mind what maybe I said, what I did wrong, what can I learn from it. That's just the type of person I am. Right. I think the fact that we're holding the accountability to this person, I think that's really dope. We're doing that now. people can't get away with these things forever, and I think that's been showcased here. And I don't know. I think I'm with everyone else where I don't feel like it was really from them. I feel like someone else kind of maybe like, was a little scripted for someone.
Just to piggyback off that, kind of sound like what I just read before we started the show, which is scripted, you're keeping everything in order. But I kind of agree with the panel because it was one of those prepared speeches like the president would read, you know what I mean? And that's not what the community needed. The community needed the emotions, the heart. We were just at the meeting and they were talking how they were talking to certain, the police department, things like that. And we tell them their feelings. People wanted to see that you're not a cold person, just like Morgan said. I felt that it was just someone else wrote it for me and I had to apologize because someone told me to. Not because I actually wanted to apologize or I felt that what I said was absolutely wrong. I think he truly probably may still feel that way, and that's everyone. This is America. Everyone can feel the way they want to feel. But to be in a position of power, that's become, especially in our gay community, we're already a minority community, to be in a position of power on a Pride board organization and perhaps not being in the community as much as he should be, I think that's the problem. He's not in the community how they should be. And to be quite honest, we're going to get to the board. I just met the Tampa Pride board. Not a lot of them are young cats. They're not going to be out in the club meeting people, and that's what they kind of need, because had he been out to, let's say the tea dance I went to at Tampa-St a couple weeks ago, Fatalia was performing. I don't think he would have said, how do you feel about women performing in drag? I call it fake drag because she fucked it up. She sung live, and
she's wonderful.
Not a lot of performers do that. So let's go to the Tampa Pride meeting we just came from. So how did you guys feel? Do you think there's going to be a change? Do you think they're working towards that? I'm going to start with Angelique first because you had something to say there.
Something? Oh, child. I actually, honestly, I went and I listened first. I think it's an important thing to do when you're questioning someone. You have to listen to them. You have to give them the opportunity to lay themselves bare and really tell you what their focus is. And I think that they did that in that meeting. They told us about the preparations for Pride to come. They told us about how their involvement, how they do how they bring in people from other states and other places to our Pride to make our Pride bigger and better. The bigger and better our Pride is, the more money it gets, the more lavish it gets, the more wonderful it gets. And people have to remember, we at one point weren't allowed to have Tampa Pride 8 years ago. They've started this mission and they've done a wonderful job. So I love hearing the detail work that went into that and how they're building their scholarship program, how they're changing everything and evolving it. And it was wonderful to hear. On the other side of that, there's a lot of room for growth. But at the end of it, especially after I spoke, I could see that a lot of those members were happy I spoke. They were happy with what I said, and they're open to it. They even asked me in the middle of my speech to give them some feedback on what they could do to expand on that, what ideas they have. And I love that they let me look them in the eyes, and I love that no one backed down, nobody felt offended. And so I felt like I was given a real platform to speak my piece, and I felt heard. And I think that was the most important thing. I think everybody in the room kind of felt that, anybody who spoke anyway.
And Morgan, how did you feel what you heard and what you saw?
Well, I just want to give credit again to my good sis over here. I hype her the hell up, and she is a role model to me, as shady as I am. I love you, sis.
Thank you.
You just are a beacon of light in all my shade, and I live for you. But going back to the matter at hand, as far as the meeting went, I definitely felt there was some animosity, which rightfully so. There were some people with some hurt feelings, and they came in here to snatch some wigs off and drag, and that's fine. Go on ahead. I do that for a living. But at the same time, I definitely felt like there were some people in there with genuine concerns. They were worried about what are they doing with the funds? What are they doing with representation? What are they doing with the organization as a whole, the diversity? And I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in that conversation. Well, almost everybody. But anyway, almost everybody. But, there was a lot of good dialogue in there. And I really hope that Tampa Pride really pushes for diversity. That's a big thing for me, because I'm just going to call it like it is. I love those people on that board. No tea, no shade. but it's looking like Xerox paper up in there. I ain't seeing nothing but white folk, okay?
Like, no tea. Like, literally, when I wrote my speech and I was coming from a place of anger and hurt, I literally said,
Who am I talking
we're
to?
supposed to be a board. We're supposed to be a community that represents a lot, and you guys are looking like a monochromatic version of that.
I didn't see
Like,
no BET channel.
There was no. They had all these people and they're standing up and they're saying, "I'm this and I'm that," and I'm like, "But you're not Hispanic, you're not Black, you're not Indian, you're not Native." I mean, there was one person who's
Everybody
partially Native
needed
American,
some tan lotion.
but
Well,
nobody.
what they'll say is like, I'm Irish, I'm this, I'm that. But
Yeah.
I'm like, you are a culture that presents as a white person.
As a
you
Caucasian,
don't have to,
yeah.
You don't have to deal with what people of color, what we'll be talking about later,
The
what we deal
disadvantages and the
with. So I mean,
adversities.
yeah, you may be gay, but it's like what I'm sorry, but people miss what Dave Chappelle said. He said a lot of people are LGBT plus until they have to be white again. And honestly, that was the most important message that I heard in that. 'Cause I mean, it's fucking true. Because bitches be sitting there like this, oh, hello, officer, and all of a sudden they not sucking dick. You know, or, you know,
And just like that.
Nesha, just real fast, how do you, now you've been in the gay community, and you weren't at the meeting, but do you think from their words, do you think there's going to be a change coming from Tampa Pride, especially after seeing someone being removed?
So, going
Self-removed.
forward, I would like to see change within them. However, I think it'll naturally progress that way. I actually do, just because, honestly, isn't that crowd kind of on their way out anyways?
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I'm not trying to be funny here, but aren't they? I mean, we're kind of just waiting for the expiration date to kick in. So I feel like we really won't have to worry about as much of this going forward as we progress and we become more accepting.
I need them to teach me what they know first.
Amazing.
And on that note, we're going to go and come back. We'll be right back. Here's a message from Tampa Bay Gay.
Hey everybody, this is Dave with Tampa Bay Gay. Check out some of the LGBTQ events happening around the Bay Area this week.
Tuesday, December 13th is the Tampa Pride General Meeting at the Hampton Inn on 7th Avenue in Ybor City. Come find out how to be part of the team by volunteering. At Metro, did you know that you can get free HIV and STI testing done? Safe, private, and a supportive staff there to assist you with any questions. Also, find them out in the community events doing testing. Know your status. The event space at Bulge presents Movie Night on December 15th, playing Elf and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Then on Friday the 16th, it's Babes and Bulges at 8 p.m. with host Morgan Lashade. Tickets are on sale now. To save the dates for Pasco Pride, party weekend at the Sawmill Campground, January 6th through the 8th. And then the Pasco Pride Festival is February 4th at Heritage Park in Land O'Lakes. More info will be posted soon.
The holidays are fast approaching. Be sure to stop out and support our LGBTQ small businesses. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Visit TampaBayGay.com for the latest local digital content, events, and more. And please like, share, and subscribe on all platforms.
Yes, we're back, folks. All right, more diversity in drag entertainment has been a demand from our local community, in my opinion, since before the Great Racial Awakening in 2020. Now, I wanted to talk this week about how that's actually working out. Like, are we making progress? And another question is, what are some of the struggles that you face as a Black and brown director? So first, I'm gonna go to our special guest co-host, Morgan Lashade, because he's been throwing some shade here.
I would never. I only throw shade because girls don't look good in the light. But anyway,
Oh!
everybody. Speaking as the odd person out of all these show directors here in Tampa Bay, I am a person who is not a drag entertainer at all. I don't do drag or anything like that. So I definitely come from a different place. Being a show director, I get looked down on a lot as being a show director because they think I have no place in the community, even though I've done all your damn promos. But anyway, so there's definitely some struggles there. But as far as diversity is concerned, Tampa, y'all got a hell of a lot of work to do. You really do. Because your cast are looking like a bunch of Xerox paper, showgirl cast. And it is what it is. I've been to almost every single bar around here, and while it's cute to have a little set cast, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of show directors who are just not giving opportunities to the new kids. I get it. Some of the new kids act very entitled, and they think they deserve a booking because they did one little pussy slat at a bar and won $50 bar tab. And it is what it is. But at the same time, a lot of the older queens that are in positions of power and our show directors, they're gatekeeping. They're saying, oh, well, if you don't do this, you don't do that, whatever, you can't be a part of our show. And I've led shows such as Babes and Bulges, which is here at Bulge, and also Shade Showcase, which was formerly at a bathhouse / more called Cityside. Oops, I said that. Anyway, and I've been one of the most diverse show directors in all of Tampa Bay, and I'll claim that damn title because I was booking AFAB performers, kings, bearded performers, male entertainers. I'm gonna say it right now. I've been a damn blueprint for some of y'all, okay? I am.
Okay, Jay-Z.
Right. Now I need Jay-Z's money.
Right.
But I will say this. I really think we have a long way to go. And there's very few black show directors. It's a minuscule. I can count it on my hand, just one hand. And you guys need to give us some credit because we are pushing boundaries and we are doing the best that we can. I'm sitting right here next to a young legend, aka Angelique Young, and this bitch, she's my blueprint. I live for her. I look to her for so much guidance, and I really respect so much that you do, sweetheart. I really do. And show directors who are listening and watching this, you need to do better because this whole skinny white girl thing, Malibu Becky cast member thing that y'all doing, it's not flying for me. I'm so tired of it. I am so tired of it.
And before we get into like the struggles, let's go to Angelique. Angelique, are you seeing the progress? Are you seeing changes being made other than yourself?
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say no. Honestly, I think when we have this conversation and we talk about diversity and we talk about like hiring and booking entertainers, I think first and foremost, we come from a culture that is rooted in a certain expectation for professionalism and a certain expectation for aesthetic and a certain expectation for delivery on both of those. So it's more than just who we book. It's more than just who we allow on the stage as somebody who is not only booking the entertainers but also managing them in the back and getting them prepared. It's about how we specialize in that. And so I think for me personally, as somebody, when I was given the opportunity to be a show director for the second time in Tampa, well, second and third time if you count, because I did Liquid, which is shut down, but but when given that opportunity, it's always been a reach for me to put new faces in good places. But there's a thing that we have to remember. Like, as much as I want to help every new girl, as much as I want to put all of them in the space, they have to understand that the professionalism needed and the taking stock in your own business and your own and who you are as an entertainer. I think that I agree with some of the old school heads about that. I think that it's important to know like how to present yourself, how to show up on time, how to promote your party and your business, how to bring people in and do your part as an entertainer. But in that same hand, honey, you can't come in a ripped up, torn up, looking kind of like crap.
So you're
look.
saying that you are seeing some progressive changes, but there's something coming from the professionalism of these
Yes,
people.
I know for a fact there are other show directors in the area who are booking more girls. They're giving more opportunities out. But I think the people that struggle with that ideal, it's like, I want to give it to the girl of color. I want to give it to the AFAB or the different person. But if they're not showing up to work like I'm showing up to work, then I can't give you that.
Okay.
So what I did was I beat the curve. Because what I do is when I don't see a platform for that, I create it. So like myself, what did I do? I created a New Girl on the Block show. I bring new girls in, and what I do is I teach them. I teach them how to show up professionally.
So you are seeing that. I'm sorry, I don't want to run out of time. So Nesha, what are you seeing when you go out? Are you seeing a progression in different types of performer?
No, not at all. I think it's been very much white male dominated, as with anything, especially in this community. It's been like that for a very, very long time. And I'm from Ohio, and even in Columbus, which is a very big LGBTQ community there, you're still going to find a lot of white. It's not going to be very diverse, even though you might see a sprinkle here and there. But it is the Midwest, so I try to give it its grace.
Sprinkle.
I mean, yeah.
But I think we still, I agree with the panel. I think we still have a long way to go, especially when we're speaking on Tampa. Absolutely. I think now that there's been a shift from 2020 and a lot of people are moving down here. And this is what I was saying earlier. Because those people are coming from the north, there is going to be more diversity that you are going to see trickle in. It's going to take a few more years before we really start to see it launch the way it should. But I think that's for a lot of areas in Tampa and specifically this one.
Absolutely. So what are some of the struggles that not only you as a show director face, but the community face to get those diverse cast on there? I'm gonna go to again Morgan, then Angelique, and then Nash.
So as far as like the problem,
Yeah, like what are some of the struggles that you not only just from getting the performers there, but even are there any struggles coming from let's say a bar like owner?
okay, well, I'll speak on my personal experience. I've worked at only 3 venues during my shows. I've had mostly pleasant
Why are you
experiences.
taking this?
I've had mostly pleasant experiences. Right now, I'm at Bulge, Tampa Bay, Bulge Apparel, and PJ has been nothing but great to me. He has been a wonderful business partner.
Absolutely.
And when I was at Flamingo before it closed, it was great as well. I had my struggles with City Side Lounge. I ain't gonna pull that back. It is now owned by 2 white cisgender men, and I pulled my show because of differences, and I'm just not gonna compromise our stuff.
Right.
But the difficulty is just really getting people to understand that there's so many facets of drag and there's so many types of entertainers, and getting them off that high of, oh well, if they don't perform like the Drag Race girls or whatever, or they're not like a showgirl. Like, one thing that really pisses me off is some of these show directors, if they hire a trans girl, and I speak as a cisgender male, so please clock my ass. However, a lot of the trans people that they hire, if they don't pass, they ain't getting the check. And that makes me so freaking mad. Okay, so they don't have tits, or they are
Right.
not tucked. Like, what does that matter? Being a trans person is not about appearance. It is about being their comfortable, true selves. And if you're stopping them because they didn't get some saline in their chest, I have a problem with that. Okay, you got cement in your chest. Good for you, baby. You went to the back alley. But for everybody else, that's not their tea. That's not their prerogative.
Right.
Don't block them just because they didn't go the route that you want to be in your comfortable body.
So you're saying you have seen struggles not only from the community but from bar owners. Angelique, how about you? Have you experienced that?
I think that the struggles I face as somebody who's been trying to get into the industry and be my own show director has kind of been that we get a lot of issues with the community showing up and supporting, and lack of support puts bars and restaurants and other businesses in the position to say, we can't give you this much money, or we can't do these things with you, or whatever. So finding a location that's willing to meet you halfway and understands that the whole world is coming back into something, that it's going to take time to build a night. Not every night is going to kick off. And I wish in the world it was so easy for us to have a night and everybody show up and it just be magic, right? But that's not the way of the world. So I have had issues in the past where bars don't work with me. We're put on a time constraint. We're told we have to get, a packed show in such amount of time, or we
Right.
have to do certain things. The other side of that is, for lack of a better term, knowing your target audience. It's about knowing who you do. Like, my show is different than Morgan's show. Morgan's show is a nighttime show. It's something that's held in an event space in a venue where I do a brunch. So my brunch is, I don't have the same people coming into my show every day. So I have to make sure that my show is spectacular no matter what. I have to make sure that no matter who my entertainers are, that they can entertain a crowd. End of discussion, because my crowd may be different every Sunday. I can't rely on my same friends to come every single Sunday for brunch, because a lot of them either hungover, out of town, doing whatever.
I try.
Right.
But it's about creating that environment, and I think that's a hard thing to do when you have a nightclub. It's a hard thing to do when your space is not giving you the proper promotion or the proper thing. I've seen bars management not give the proper money or funding to their shows. And the promotion of it, not helping them, not putting them on their page, not doing these different things, leaving all of that to just the show directors. Like, I don't know about Morgan, but me, that shit is on my back. Like,
Right.
I
Oh,
have
same
to,
here,
I have-
baby.
like they make
Same
flyers
here.
for me, but it's my job to make sure that it's out there. It's my job to be on them and be like, hey, print these out and do this. Because if I don't speak for myself, closed mouths don't get fed. I don't care who you are. But for us, we really got to bark loudly. We got to
Right.
make sure that we're heard from the back of the room.
How?
And then Nesha, what are you seeing the struggles of people putting these shows up?
You know what? Honestly, I feel like because I've dealt with so many different diverse amounts of people, I feel like when it comes to this topic, I feel like it's kind of like stagnant growth for you guys, honestly. I feel like we're kind of continuously having the same conversations with the same groups of people over and over again. Even if, like, just even getting the support from people that claim to be support like myself. I try to show up to events, but I wish more people like myself would come in and support. It's not just about having just your community support. It's about having our community support too, because without that, how much awareness can you bring to a topic? How much change can be done if we're just speaking to the same people every week after week after week? And I think that's the same thing, what I'm seeing over the years. You know, I've been doing this, like, I'm in my 30s now, so 15 years of this shit. It's like, come on. Like, we're millennials and we're middle-aged almost now, man. So it's like, why are we, speaking for those of us that are there, that are like 29 and up crowd. So
I'm 25,
Baby, stay at home.
Listen. Okay, well then we got to talk to your people. Where the hell we've been talking to you people? Wait a minute. You guys have been having the conversation.
No, I'm 31, baby. I'm right there with you.
He's lying to me. See, black doesn't crack. Okay,
right? It don't. I just want to end this episode. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Morgan for showing up. And by the way, at the end of this week,
y'all gonna get canceled after me,
right? Thank you so much for Nesha for guest co-hosting with us as well. We hope to see her some more.
Yes. Please,
also, as well, just a really quick message. Thank you to our sponsors, Tampa Bay Gay and PJ Solace at the event space at Bulge, because this weekend we have Babes and Bulges produced and directed by our guest co-host Morgan Lachey. So
you can see 6, you can see Barry Wild, and you can see the winner of Shade Showdown 2, Gappy G. We are from 8 to 10. Showtime is at 8:30. You can get your tickets at BulgeTampaBay.com. They come with a complimentary drink and food as well. So just kick back, relax with us. It's a pre-party. We're not trying to disturb anybody's show or whatever, but just come have some food, have a drink, laugh at the clown that is called the host, aka me, and just, get your life.
And you know what? I hope this is going to be a really good show, break a leg, and we're going to get out of here. And like I always like to say to our viewers, until next time, try to have a little bit more common courtesy. We'll see you next time.
Mwah.
Follow our podcast page, Common Courtesy TV, here on Facebook and YouTube for more conversations on love, sex, relationships, and commentary on the latest trending news. And listen to us on multiple podcast platforms via commoncourtesytv.buzzsprout.com.